Hey everyone, so I'm finally making this video. This may or may not be a surprise. To be honest, it really shouldn't be a surprise because all of my friends know I've been hinting about this for ages, but I am finally cutting my hair. And whenever I tell anybody I'm cutting my hair, I always get the same set of questions, and I always get lots of people asking me why I want to do it, because for some reason apparently it should be really surprising for someone with hair my length to want to cut it. So I'm just going to make this video as a placeholder so you can watch it to get your heart's content of why I'm cutting my hair and my decisions for doing so. Don't worry, I really thought this through. I think even before my hair was long, I knew I was going to cut it eventually. And if you're someone who's just randomly stumbled on my channel and you're thinking, but your hair doesn't look long because it's tied, I will just show you how long it is, because I've been growing it for a very long time, since 2010 when I started university, and it is now, it has basically reached my calves now, but it's time for it to go. So this is, you know, one of its last days on this planet attached to myself. So enjoy one last few moments. And it's actually really hot. I'm in my hometown. It is October, but it's still about 30 degrees and we're right by the river where it's really humid. So chances are, I thought I would film the video with my hair down, but actually I'm having second thoughts now. So it's gonna go back up again. And I will start to explain why I want to cut my hair. Honestly, this is probably one of the first reasons. I'm moving somewhere with a very hot climate, and I don't really want to have to deal with long hair. It is hot. So yeah, let me tell you first of all why I decided to grow my hair long. There are a lot of people who grow their hair long for all sorts of reasons. They want something that's more feminine, maybe they have a length goal in mind. Mine stemmed originally from laziness and maybe even stinginess. So I grew up in Seville and I used to have short hair for years. Seville is one of the hottest, it is the hottest city in Spain, probably one of the hottest in Europe. I don't know if it is actually the hottest or not. I'm going to sit down again. So I had short hair for years because having long hair, you immediately start sweating on the neck, you go swimming. Having long hair is a pain when you're swimming, especially at this length. But I started my university in the UK. So when I first moved there in 2010, I had short hair, and I remember I got quite chilly, so I thought, I might as well just grow out my hair so my neck is warm. And then whenever I looked at the prices to get your hair cut in the UK, I was used to paying 10 euros in Spain, and it was sort of £40 and more to get it cut in the UK. I've actually never gotten my hair cut in the UK. So I started growing it. I would often forget to get a hairdresser's appointment when I visited Spain. So in the end, my hair started growing, and then I thought, oh cool, my hair actually grows at a decent rate. It actually grows at a really normal rate, but because I didn't cut my hair, it looked like it grew quite fast. And then me and my best friend, we started this challenge where we said we won't cut our hair until we finish higher education. So at first that was going to be when I finished my undergraduate. Obviously then I started a PhD, so I thought it kind of then shifted into almost a penitence type thing. I wasn't allowed to cut my hair until I finished my PhD. I spent 5 years in that program. It was sort of a master's-like year, followed by another 3 years, and I took an extra year on top of that. And then this final year, it's actually been 9 years total. So 3 years undergrad, 5 years PhD, and then 1 year just doing corrections and getting the graduation. And I guess finally gearing up to, I am putting an end to the chapter of my life where I'm in a cold country and I'm moving somewhere warm. So I guess as far as I was concerned, this was always a time goal. I just wanted to grow my hair until I reached this point in my life. I have now reached that point, so I am now ready to cut my hair. Then on top of that, when I first started growing my hair, I loved having it long when it was between boob and navel length. That was a fantastic length. It would dry really quickly. I didn't have to style it. It would always look good. Once it hit about classic length, which is when you can start to sit on it, something happened and it just started becoming really tangly. So when I washed my hair, I would spend at least 3 hours picking out all of the knots. It was a bit too long to do lots of very elaborate hairstyles with it, and I didn't really have time to do that much, so I did become a little bit bored with it. I feel like, I know on the internet people associate me with the, the plait, or with the long hair, but actually most of the time I wear it like this. which is kind of comfy, but I think it's a bit boring. Also, with lots of other things, so it takes a long time to take care of. Whenever people see my long hair, they always say, oh, it must take you a really long time to wash it. How long do you spend washing it? And the answer is yes, it does. It takes maybe 20 minutes to wash it, an hour to dry it. Although when I'm in Spain, I guess I just walk around outside and it dries off pretty quickly. But really the biggest time that I spend on my hair is detangling it. So it's either I use a whole pot of conditioner, which gets expensive, and I don't have to detangle as much, or I use a normal amount of conditioner, but then I spend hours and hours and hours detangling my hair. And I don't know, I mean, lots of people seem to associate having long hair with being really patient, but I would much rather use my patience doing all sorts of other things. Also, the longer my hair has gotten, I've gone off doing lots of physical exercise. I used to do cheerleading, I used to do swimming, dancing, martial arts, and the longer and longer the hair gets, there are lots of sports where it's a bit dangerous to wear a spike because it could come out or you could hurt someone, and where it's also impractical to have the hair down because it will get tangled or it will get caught, or you know, if you go swimming you have to wash it afterwards, and then once again you have the problem of the 3-hour detangling session that follows. And I'm someone who gets a bit down if I don't exercise a lot, and it's something I've identified as something that I think is quite important in my life and that I've been missing out on, I guess. And now that I've finished my PhD and I've opened up a little bit more time in my life, I know I want to do more exercise. I also get people saying, oh, but there are ways of wearing your hair that you can do exercise and have long hair. But dude, have you had hair this heavy? I've tried all sorts of things and I still know that having short hair is a much more comfortable way of doing that. So there's the hassle of not being able to exercise, there's a hassle of having to look after it, and then there's also just, I really miss having short hair. I remember when I had short hair, I'd get lots of head massages. There was just something nice about being able to run your hands through your hair, and lots of little things that I miss. I really love the journey of growing it out, but not of necessarily having it at this length now. Other questions I get asked a lot, which I'm just going to cover whilst I remember them. I get a lot of people asking me, what does my partner or boyfriend or husband think about it? I just want to say, I mean, first of all, bodily autonomy is a thing. I think if someone wants to cut their hair or do whatever they want with their hair, they should be able to do it regardless of what everybody else wants. I mean, I know for a fact there are lots of people watching this who probably really like my long hair, and who have, some of these people might have told me to not cut my hair. I'm still going to cut it. I'm sorry, this is my hair. But I also know for a fact that I think everybody I've dated would be I know they would be fine with me cutting my hair. In fact, as a fun fact, the person recording this is actually my ex, and he is also very excited for me to cut my hair. I might cut this out. Anyway, so that's kind of a moot point. Trust me, people who know me well, they know how excited I am about this, and I think they're living for my excitement. I'm living for my excitement as well. Then I also get asked, well, won't you miss the long hair? So this is a big thing. I think the answer is yes. Obviously I will. I mean, it's like a third limb. It occupies a lot of space. It's kind of like an awkward elephant a lot of the time. I mean, when you go to sleep, I have to plait it, and then I have to lie down and find a way of like putting this plait around me. It's going to be weird to be without this heavy thing that's been attached to me for years. You know, to go from that to not having it anymore. But, so I'll probably miss that, but I think I'll also feel quite free from it. Sure, there are times I'll probably miss playing with it. Obviously it looks really pretty, that's why I post lots of photos about it, because really at this point I think that's the only purpose the hair serves. When it's cold, I wear it around me and I take pretty photos of it. I think there's a guy, I don't know what he's doing in the background. Anyway, but also people who know me well know that I'm a practical sort of person. I grew up being a little bit of a tomboy. I like doing sport, I like running around, I like being in nature, and I'm not really the sort of person to want to prioritise looking pretty and sacrificing the things I want to do, and I feel the hair's got to the point where I've stopped doing things I really care about just to preserve it. And I don't know, I think some people ascribe much more femininity to me than I actually have, or they think I'm a certain type of person because I have long hair, which is absolutely not the case. I get lots of people thinking I'm really feminine, really patient. I think I am a patient person, but I think I'm using my patience on the hair when I could be using it on other things. As for femininity, I don't know, sometimes I'm feminine, but it's not really one of the top adjectives I would use to describe myself in the slightest. So I'm excited for the change. I'm trying to think what other things people ask me. Oh yeah, I will get asked if I will miss the hair. The answer is yes, but I've also spent years missing short hair, so I feel like it's time for me to miss long hair and enjoy the short hair. I asked on Instagram for more questions. I don't actually know if any will have come through or not, so I will go check that. And maybe record a part 2 or a bit more to this. But hopefully this has answered your questions as to why I'm cutting my hair in a bit of a roundabout way. And, you know, I just hope that you respect my decision, because the hair is going. Chances are when you watch this video it probably has already gone. And I think it's very important to know that what other people choose to do with their body parts or with their hair or with their keratin is entirely up to their choice, and you can agree with it or not. If you really dislike it, you're very welcome to unfollow me, but also I really hope that people are following me for more than the hair, because that's a bit sad if you were just following me for that, in my opinion anyway. Cool, that's it for now. But my friend told me that I cut the video a little bit too quickly because it was a little bit hot, and I did feel I should try and speed the video up. So I'm going to record a second outro, which is this one. Basically me saying the same thing again, like, hi, thanks for watching me, and bye, and enjoy the very last few seconds of me having long hair. I say last few seconds, that's so melodramatic. Last few hours or days with the long hair. So we're just going to walk.